Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Morgan, bid you all welcome back to Dragon Age Origins. Past few episodes we spent a lot of time trying to level up our party and get our companions' approval ratings higher so we can unlock some of their passive stat boosts to hopefully help out in this fight with the Carta in Orzammar's Dust Town. And it seems to have worked because I was able to do it off screen, which means we're going to give it a shot now. Wasn't actually half as hard as it was last time. You may notice I swapped out a part of our group here. Sten has replaced Shale because I feel like he's just got more damage potential, especially against humanoid enemies. Speaking of which, we got a few Harrowmont fanatics kind of roadblocking us here, so I guess we got to deal with that. So, shall we? Okay, stealth doesn't work because I'm taking damage from that ability. That's good to know. So, Sten? First of all, he should always be in that. Sten doesn't have quite the AoE kind of stuff that Shale has. But he still has some mighty sweeps. Such as that. Which at least don't have friendly fire, so that's good.
Armed and dangerous, ready for action.
The problem is that he doesn't seem to pull aggro quite as well. And he goes down fast. Alright, so he did actually pull aggro very well there and died immediately.
Here, do you actually think you have a chance?
Now Wynn is falling apart. Wow, this is going so much worse than it was last time. Christ almighty.
I can't die like this.
This is not going well.
I see.
Boy,
You had it coming.
that was pretty terrible.
Cannot sustain.
I guess that doesn't help her matters. I don't know how much that ability really helps, but it takes off a lot of health. Seems like it might not be worth using. Alright, well, I shouldn't have used a good one. So y'all gotta toughen up. It was pointed off to me by a friendly viewer. Oh, hang on, this guy's got something. By a friendly viewer that I really should be buffing people's constitution. Because I have not been. How do I see that? I don't think I can, but, yeah.
Maker's blessing on you, sister. Oh, you look as if you come from the surface. I thought perhaps you were raised in the way of the Chantry. I'm Brother Burkle of the Red Cliff Chantry, returned to my ancestors' land to spread the chant of light.
Even in the very bowels of the earth, we hear no end of this chant.
I thought we already talked to this guy.
And that is something to rejoice in, good sister. I'm petitioning to open a chantry in Orzammar.
Don't dwarves worship their ancestors or something?
There is resistance. It's obvious the world wasn't created by the mortal souls who dwelt within it. But Orzammar persists in worshipping its paragons and forefathers instead of the Maker.
Let them worship whatever they like. The Khun is the only way to enlightenment.
Honestly, I want to tell them both off, but I think I'll try and stick to Sten's side.
Perhaps. Each must find his own way to the truth.
Are you saying you will help?
What do you need from me?
Do you have any influence with the Shaper of Memories? The Shaperate controls changes in Orzammar's structure and society. I need the Shaper of Memories' permission to open a prayer meeting.
Do you want me to talk to him for you?
Oh, I'd hoped you'd say that.
Ugh.
I can see the Maker's hand on your shoulder. guiding you always. Please let me know as soon as you've heard anything.
We'll give it a shot. I don't think your proselytizing will be too welcome here. It's a city very entrenched in its traditions, unfortunately. Alright, so we need to find where the Carta hides out down here. And we know somebody who kind of has an ear to the wall down here.
Didn't get enough of the architectural beauty of Dust Town? You need old Nadezda to play tour guide?
Know anything about the Carta?
Know it? I lived it, my friend. And let me tell you, it's worse now than in my day. Jarvia took over the Carta not more than a year ago, and already she's got every duster with both legs bearing swords for her.
Where could I find her?
Won't be easy. She's gotten real careful since Barat died. Real paranoid. She's got Carta members all carrying these fingerbone tokens. She scratches some mark into them so she'll know they came from her. There's doors to her base all over the city, but only one is ever open at a time. And if you show up without a token, you'd never know it was there.
Where do I find one of these tokens?
Can't help you there, Selrocka. The Carta members keep them real tight. But that's worth something, right? Maybe just a little.
Here's 10 silver. Take care of yourself.
I'll think of you when I go to bed with a full stomach.
Hopefully not full of all that wine you've surrounded yourself with. Ah, who am I to judge? Just take it and do what you want. Alright, so she acts like we would not possibly find the door without one of the finger bones, but... yeah, here it is. I actually don't know what would happen if we look through the slot. Let's see what happens. Probably get poked in the eye. See nothing but blackness. Alright. Nope, no suspicious trap, but yeah, that's the door we need. We just need to find some way to get one of them finger bones. Are they chilling? They are chilling. Let me make sure I got the options. Yep, everything's set normal. I did, when I was doing the test run, the problem is getting through the Carta headquarters is one of the more tedious dungeon crawls in a game that is full of tedious, meandering dungeon crawls. This one is, you know, ranks really, really high up there. So when I was doing a test run, I actually set it to easy to get through all that, and then set it back to normal when I tried to fight Jarvia. So I know we can do that. But yeah, I'm probably gonna have to end up fast-forwarding through all of the, the dungeon down there, just because it's so long. There is one side quest to do down there, but... you know, I'll slow down when we get to those points. Otherwise, I'm just fast-forwarding through all the combat. Because I don't have enough commentary to make all that interesting. But, one thing that is interesting is the Carta, I believe, is actually where you begin in the Dwarf Commoner origin. This... I forget who... Belgen or something like that. Previous leader might have been in charge of it when you were the Dwarf Commoner, but I don't think so, because she said he died a year ago. And Jarvia has been in charge ever since. Yeah, all the origin stories are pretty interesting, and do make for some interesting side plots when you come back to the relevant locations. But we have no ties here, so we're just going through as normal. So there's only one other door that matters down here for the sake of this quest, and that's this one here. So as soon as you enter this, there's nothing to really guide you here.
Look what we have here.
But this is what you find.
Jarvia said you were looking for trouble. Congratulations. You found it.
Well, thank goodness for that. Didn't want to be walking around here all day. Alright, Sten, give him a whack. I'm gonna throw sand in his eyes. Why don't you do that? I don't really know what I need you to do. Just do whatever. So, you can avoid fighting all these guys. You can kill them all if you want for the XP, but I'm not that fussed. If you take their leader down, take all his health down, before killing the rest of them, they all stop fighting. So, we're just gonna go ham on him. Easiest thing I realize is probably that.
Don't kill me! Sorry ancestors! What do they teach you on the surface? You fight like a bleeding archdemon.
Well, that's good, because I need to kill one of those.
Look at them all.
Tell me how to find Jarvia or you'll join them. I don't know who, because we didn't kill anybody.
The base is below the city. You can get to it through the wall of the third house on this row. Put this token through the slot, and it'll open. Well, will you let me go now?
Yes, and you won't want to be at Jarvia's when I get there.
Really? Oh, thank you. You're a good person. How do they say it? The ancestors have shown their favor. Bless you.
I don't know why you would say that, since if you don't know the Preach, you clearly don't have much to do with the ancestors. So why bother acting so sanctimonious? Alright, so we know the door we need.
Right.
Let's put our finger through the hole. It opens.
This should be easy.
I am tempted to go into easy mode again just to get through all this, but I don't know. That just feels like cheating at this point. So, yeah. Again, I'll stop and chat whenever it's relevant, but through most of the fights, we're just gonna have to go ham. And I shan't bother you with all that. Password? Jarvia sucks lizard eggs.
Looks like we have a martyr, boys.
And a comedian.
Enemies need something, and quickly.
Can you do what I told you? Oh, she's stuck. That's great. Can you see that guy? So yeah, there's a lot of just, you know, usual tunnel trash to deal with down here. There's a bunch of rogues and cutthroats and all that sort of thing. But yeah, let's take a look at the map. I mean, we can't see much right now, but you see how basically all the intersections are going to look like. There's going to be 4 directions to go, or 3, since we came from 1. Some of them lead to rooms, some of them are just dead ends, some of them lead to going deeper, but there is, like I said, a sort of side quest going on down here. We end up having to check almost all the rooms anyway, so yeah, we're just gonna clean house, unfortunately. Alright, so this is the start of our subquest here, Jammer's Stash. If we take a look at the log. Take the cheapest item in each of Jammer, Kenki, and Peek's common chests to access Jammer's Stash box. Take only the cheapest from each, or risk grievous injury. Now, I've read some mixed things on this, whether or not you can get the full stash. Even if you've disobeyed the rules and taken more expensive items.
I await your command.
Get out of my face. I don't believe that you can. You have to take the cheapest items or else you won't get the key you need to access the full stash. So when we get to those, I'll show you the cheapest item. Most of the time, they're pretty obvious. You know, something that's made of copper versus something that's made of gold. That kind of thing. But there's one later, it's like garnet, emerald, and something else. And I wasn't sure garnet was necessarily the cheapest, but it is. But yeah, I'll show you those when we get to those. For now, got more rooms to clear. Guess we might as well bottleneck them here. Don't seem to be that many people in there. That's fine.
Begin the onslaught.
Go.
So this is the interesting thing. We start seeing a lot of like mercenaries down here, including Kunari and Els and all sorts of unexpected things. Don't know why they're all helping the Carta of all people. I think they'd be probably on Loghain's payroll, that's what I would think, but I guess beggars can't be choosers when it comes to the sellsword game. Alright, we'll let that kill that fool. Oh, he survived. That's fine. Just take some of that.
Right.
Alright, so here's a common box number 1,
This
Kanki.
should be easy enough.
So yeah, it should be pretty obvious. Silver is less than gold. I don't know if it's less valuable on the open market than emerald, but I think in RPG tropes it tends to be less. Emerald tends to be very valuable. So silver is the one to take, the only one to take, if you want the stash. And to be frank, it's not a terribly valuable stash, but it is worth more than I think the contents that you would get from the common boxes. And I believe that the penalty for picking a less valuable one, or a more valuable item, is like an instant auto-connect like kind of trap that inflicts just an automatic injury. So you need to use an injury kit to treat it. Pain in the ass, to be sure. So who looks big and bad in here? I think they're all just trash mobs.
Trap. Right. On it.
So that was a neat little counter ambush there.
You never had a chance.
The little pricks never even really got the chance to lay a hand on us. Anyway, we apparently found a jail.
This should be easy enough.
Some asshole locked up here.
Let me out. I see you bear no...
Right.
Thank you. We've been down here. It's been so long. My friend didn't make it. Just stopped eating one day and all for a stupid bet.
Don't really learn anything from this. I don't remember if that guy ever turns up later. He's got a silver bowl, though. I don't know why his captors allowed him to hold on to something so valuable while he was incarcerated. Yeah, so, well, we let that guy go. At least one person made it out. Thanks to our intervention. Don't know why this door is already open. Everybody catch up. What the... Holy shit, that scared me. A bunch of fools. That's cool. Alright, Jammer's common box. So we got the iron, the red, steel, and the steel. Iron, of course, is just... or steel is just a superior form of iron, so iron would be the least valuable. It's the last one that probably deliberately made to be the most obscure because I don't know my minerals. So I wouldn't have necessarily known that garnet is less valuable than anything else. Some of you who are geologists might have found that to be a much too simple riddle. But I am not so educated on geology. Alright, so that's the door to Jarvia's, like, HQ, I guess. So that's not quite where we want to go yet. We want to finish up the rest of this. Looks like I missed whatever was supposed to be garnet. I'm gonna have to run back for that. I don't know how I missed it. They're usually pretty obvious.
On it.
Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. I walked right past it, like twice. Alright, so this is it. There's garnet, fluorospar, and malachite. Garnet is the cheapest, and right immediately taking that item, we lose everything we got and get Jammer's stash keys. So that's how we open the final chest yonder. And there's a lot of little critters around here, none of whom mean us any harm. There's a Bronto and some nugs.
Right.
And some deep stalkers. Probably the most adorable things. So yeah, this is the stash. We get the Long Runner's cap, which gets us additional stamina regen in combat. Seems okay. But 7.5 gold ain't nothing to sneeze at either. Other than that, yeah, just some
Let's get started.
assorted loots. Grab all this and then move on to Jarvia herself, whose Carta has had, you know, they had their run. Now it's time to put an end to their criminal enterprise. So this is going to be a tricky fight, and I don't know if I'm going to fast forward all of it or what, because it's going to take a while. It's something of a fight of attrition. We got to manage our stats and just keep whittling down all of the ads in the fight while trying to keep a lot of like procs on Jarvia herself to mitigate how much damage she can do, which is very difficult to do. But I'll show you at least the method that I seem to have figured out works okay.
So Balin finally realized his throne means nothing if he can't hold it, yet he still doesn't bother to send his own men. Well, you picked the wrong side, stranger. It doesn't matter who's king, as long as there's a queen.
You call yourself a queen. Surrender and I'll spare your life.
Hardly convincing when your blades are covered in my men's blood.
Well, they didn't surrender.
But leave the pretty one alive. I have plans for her.
Funny that she says that, because they absolutely do not keep me alive. Alright, so the problem is she disappears. I mean, she doesn't really disappear, but she pops up back behind all these traps here, which make it a pain in the ass to get to her, but that's actually fine. I kind of want her out of the fight as much as possible, so we're going to drop a force field on her. Keep her out of commission for now. And since we're not going anywhere near all that stuff, we might as well start laying down some AoEs there just to keep the archers occupied. Problem is, they're going ham on Wynne. We need Wynne alive, I think, above all. She can keep the heals up. Sten's already kind of been fucked with. You don't need to go after them, they're fine. Well, might as well start going ham on that guy. Need a party heal. Nah, just a solo heal. Oh, but you can't. So never mind. Holy shit, she went down already. Fuck's sake. This is already a bust. I wasn't expecting that guy to be able to kill her and take her from half health. Just instant annihilate with one fucking stab. Alright, so that didn't work.
Well, you picked the wrong... I said...
Save some dignity.
Okay, so now Jarvia is coming into the fight. She is very hard because she has a lot of attacks that can hit a lot of people. So we need her incapacitated as much as possible, which is, again, difficult to do. Because she ignores a lot of effects that would otherwise, like, stun or incapacitate people, such as Crushing Prison and Petrify. Because she counts as a boss character, I think they're kind of, you know, pseudo-immune to those sort of things. But she also just has a lot of high stun resist. Now her ads have already kind of come back. That's a problem. I think I'm gonna have Wind start chain lightninging them.
Time for a little cleanup.
So once she loses about half her health, she disappears and goes back behind her traps again. Really annoying. But it's what we gotta deal with.
An order. Weapons at the ready.
So the biggest problem, again, since the room is kind of loaded with traps, if you let your party members run free, they have a tendency to just keep running into them.
I'm going to wear your...
And for some reason, I'm not spotting them. Sten, stop it.
So be it.
Let me take care of that.
Mine.
Alright, so she disappeared. That's fine, I guess. Why don't you do that? Win, I think you can do that over there. Let's keep everybody back for now. Again, yeah, Jarvia kind of keeps disappearing, which is really annoying.
I'm going to...
Might want to go ham on her. Or actually we can stun her again and just take out the ads. Because the ads are going to be the real tough part. Done. Oh, yeah, just keep running through all the traps after we finish the fight, please. By all means. Alright, so Jarvia bit the dust. So it wasn't a horrible fight. We got some kind of anti-infantry poison. Ooh. Yeah, that sounds more like a bomb. The way they describe it. Smashing the bottle, we probably chuck it at people. Alright. So yeah, it wasn't the worst fight as long as you just keep up the right strategies. Basically, try to mitigate how much damage Jarvia can put out before taking her down. And concentrate mostly on getting rid of all the ads before they can really do too much. Because once they get out of hand, once their numbers swell too much, there's kind of no stopping them. Now, the problem is, for some reason, even though I'm a rogue, I'm not spotting these traps. Really irritating, but it's fine. Job is done. Jarvia is dead. The Carta is no more.
On it.
That's really
Trap.
all we need. Oh, sure. Now you see it. Now that we're on the other side. Nah, I can't even touch it. Fantastic. Okay, well, we'll go through this door first. This looks like just a room. Some potential loot.
Right.
Nice
This
arrows.
should be easy enough.
Genuine Hail Rune and a love letter. We are looking for love letters. Now, I had done some stuff off screen. I did a couple side quests. I think there's like a Chanter's Board quest. One or two of those I did off screen because they're just like go to an area, random area on the map that's just a, you know, copy paste map from another random encounter. Click on a corpse and yeah, report back on that. So those I did off screen. The love letters, I believe we still have one more to find. And the only one left, I think, is after or during the Lands Meet part of the story. There's gonna be a while. It seems like everything else we're waiting on depends on that. Alright, well, we just barreled through this wall, past this bookshelf here. Oh, this is a familiar shop.
Ah! By all the beards of my ancestors!
That's a lot of beards.
Where did you come from? You made a hole in my wall!
That hole leads to a tunnel in the Carta's hideout.
It does? Oh, sod it. If people find out about this, my business will be ruined. They'll think I have something to do with Jarvia.
You didn't know about this?
No! I don't have anything to do with them. They're criminals. When they built this part of the city, they must have built over some tunnels. I swear I had no idea. Oh, just leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with this. And if anyone comes asking, I'm gonna tell them you did it.
Oh, you're an asshole. Sure, you expect me to believe that this suspiciously crumbly wall behind a bookshelf had nothing to do with your store. Nothing in connection with the criminal gang that's been dwelling down here for so long. Well, while we're here, why don't I pawn off some of their crap to you?
You again.
So I'm sure you're a fence of theirs.
Of course.
Alright, so we got a lot of shitty weapons. Let's go ahead and get rid of those. Usaris, I believe I dumped that from Sten. We're not going to sell his sword, even though we can. Kind of ironically. Considering he killed, like, a family of farmers to get it back, but doesn't really give a shit what we do with it now. Oh, Winter's Breath. I should be giving that to Morgan. I don't know why I haven't. Oh, yeah. Radiates cold. What does that mean? Do you take damage? I don't think so.
You again.
Alright, a lot of shitty armor to sell. Decent profit out of that area, though. Oops, maybe I should have paid attention to those. Pushback strikers. Actually, I should have paid attention to those. Those are better than mine. Anything with a basic name, though, I'm not fussed with. Juggernaut stuff, I think I took that off of Stan, but I might save it for Alistair. If he gets his strength up enough to use them. Don't need anything flawed. There's nothing flawed with our dear Shale. Alright, so I think we still have quite a bit of time left in this episode, just because I said I was going to fast forward through all the combat. I'm pretty sure I'm just going to skip it all, because it was about 40 minutes to get through all of the combat scenes in that, all the room battles down there. I ain't about that. I'm not going to make you sit through all that, even if it is fast forwarded, like 400%. It's just not worth your time. And it helps me because it gives me an excuse to make an altogether shorter video, which doesn't take as long to edit or render.
Lord Balin is,
Wow, you got distant all of a sudden. Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
This guy's back on our side. Where's the Royal Palace? I think it's up here. Gotta return the good news to good old Balin.
Lord Harrowmont, furious at the Grey Warden's interference, claims no one can stop his plans to strip Orzamar's defenses. Say insider.
Yeah, no shit. He's setting those defenses to try and kill me. That's the assembly. I don't need the assembly. Where's the Royal Palace? The Palace. Actually, why don't we drop in at the Shaperate and... I don't know. Feign interest in helping this chanter build an assembly here.
Ah, you return, Warden. Is there more you would know from Orzamar's memories? That is an odd request, especially for one so new to our city.
I come on behalf of Brother Burkle, a cleric of Redcliffe.
I thought so. This is not the first time he's made this plea. My answer to Brother Burkle hasn't changed. So I ask you the same. On what basis would you have me insult the ancestors and overturn 2,000 years of tradition?
What harm would it do to let him preach?
He seems a charitable man, but that is a thin thread on which to tie Orzamar's traditions. Very well, he may hold a prayer meeting as he requested, if not build a new temple to his god. At least the words would come from one of our own. Now, is there anything more?
Alright, that was pretty straightforward.
I will record this conversation in the memories. I hope I do not come to regret it.
It's a little weird that he's supposed to really be a historian and a record keeper above all, but does seem to hold some clout in, I guess, matters of, like, politics and, you know, municipal dealings in a way. I don't know why one man would hold so much authority who doesn't seem to really hold a distinctive office. Alright, here's the palace. Let's drop in with our buddy Balin. Let him know the news, and then I think he's going to send us to the Deep Roads after this. If I recall this plotline correctly. Which, frankly, I recall being a bit easier than the Carta. Vartag, I don't care about you. There's Balin.
Well, you've simply outdone yourself.
Have I?
They're talking all over the city about how someone finally went through Dusttown and slaughtered the Carta like Genlocks.
I did what you asked. Do you have my troops?
Not yet.
Oh, of course not.
Brought me greater favor. But to truly displace Harrowmont, we'll need something dramatic enough to end the debate forever. What do you know of the Paragon Branka?
She disappeared in the Deep Roads.
She is the only Paragon in 4 generations, and she turned her back on her responsibilities. A Paragon is like an ancestor born in this time. If she returned, her vote would outweigh the entire assembly. Anyone with her support could take the throne unchallenged.
Oh, and what if she comes back and supports Harrowmont? Do you think she would support you as a king?
I cannot force you. But if this voting drags
Whoops,
on,
I picked the wrong one.
Takes the throne, everything you've done will be for nothing. Without Branka, there are no guarantees. For my throne, or your blight.
I picked the wrong thing. I meant to go through all that.
Harrowmont's agents have increased their slanders against me. I think the vote will happen soon. Have you decided to finish what you started? Will you go into the Deep Roads to seek Branka's support for my throne?
What if Branka won't support you?
I was hoping you could use your legendary charm to persuade her that the rightful king should take the throne. However, if the Deep Roads have addled her wits, it might be best she not return before the kingship is decided.
Are you saying I should kill her?
I would never say that. She is a paragon. It is my duty to protect her. On the other hand, we must respect her decisions. Should she prefer to stay in the Deep Roads rather than help her rightful king take the throne, we must assist her. By any means necessary.
So this is kind of where they really throw shit up in the air, and this is kind of like the defining moment. Although we're at the point of no return as far as I know, we cannot turn around and just help Harrowmont all of a sudden. We might be able to. There might be a last minute like switcheroo that we can do. But this is where Baylan kind of shows his true colors, at least personally, and demonstrates that he is an underhanded asshole who will do whatever it takes for his own sake. Now the problem is, it's the ending that really defines the difference between him and Harrowmont. And that's kind of what sucks. So you might think you're making the right decision all along with who you're siding with, and suddenly it turns around and your perspective on them is totally different once the credits start rolling. So there's not much you can do about it then. But we're sticking with him for reasons that will be clear by the end. What makes you think Branka is still alive?
She had an entire house with her, dedicated to her protection. With the number of ruins still intact, they could last for a long time. And Harrowmont is looking as well. It's too risky to assume she's dead only to have him take credit for finding her.
Do you think she would support you as king?
I was hoping you could.
Oh, we already went through this.
Deep roads have addled her wits.
What is Branka like?
I did not know her personally. 2 years ago, I was still considered a child, not one to consort with Orzammar's finest. From what I hear, her intellect was unrivaled, but the social graces were beneath the notice of one so gifted.
I will find her for you.
Then we will both go down in history as a Paragon's saviors. So far, my men have traced Branka to Caridin's Cross, an ancient crossroad lost to the Darkspawn 4 centuries ago. Her trail ends there. Perhaps with your warden's expertise, you can find what my men could not.
Where is Caridin's Cross?
You must enter the deep roads through the mines. To protect the city, that's the only path we leave open. Caridin's Cross lies many miles deep into the tunnels. It was once a main thoroughfare, but before Branka, no one had stepped foot there in generations.
I will leave right now to find her.
You have my thanks. Seek her in Caridin's Cross. I will try to delay the vote until you return.
Good luck. Anvil of the Void. So the quest tells us that something surprising is going to happen, because that's a bizarre name for a quest where we're just looking for somebody. So obviously there's more twists to the myth up ahead. Now I meant to look at this before I started recording, but I cannot remember if we've met Oghren yet. I think we talked with him in the bar and he just kind of blew us off. But this is it. This is a point where we finally get a new companion. That's gonna happen in the next episode, because with all the fighting we had to do in the dungeon down there, this episode ran pretty long. So next episode, we'll take our first, not really our first steps, but our next steps into the deep roads, and seek the trail of Jarvia, the last possibly living paragon of Orzammar. And, I don't know. Oh, speak of the devil.
I thought I'd spoken to a Grey Warden, but for some reason I chalked it up to the drink. I know you're down here to look for Branka, and I need to ask a favor.
That's how you butter someone up to ask them for help?
Name's Oghren, and if you've ever heard of me before, it's probably all been about how I piss ale and kill little boys who look at me wrong. And that's mostly true. But the part they never say is how I'm the only one still trying to save our only paragon. And if you're looking for Branka, I'm the only one who knows what she was looking for, which might be pretty sodding helpful in finding her.
Why haven't you gone after her yourself?
Aye, lots of folks
damn it, I pressed the wrong button again.
But you don't know what, right?
Maybe.
I know what Branka wanted, and how she was looking. You presumably know everything Baylan scouts have discovered about where she disappeared. If we pool our knowledge, we stand a chance of finding Branka. Otherwise, good sodding luck.
I don't know, will you behave yourself?
It's the deep roads. I'll kill Darkspawn. Outside of that, what difference does it make? Branka was a brilliant girl, but half the time she'd add 2 and 2 and make it 50. You want to find her, you need someone who knows how she thinks.
What makes you think you can trust me?
I'm not some sodding elf maiden who sits around and waits for a passing hero to solve my problems. I'm a bloody warrior. I mean to get her back. And you wouldn't be down here if you weren't trying for the same thing. Branka was looking for the Anvil of the Void. Might have been the most important invention in Orzammar's history. The smith Caridin built it. And with it, Orzammar had 100 years of peace, while it was protected by the golems forged on the anvil. As far as anyone knows, the anvil was built in the old Orton Tig. Branka planned to start looking there, if she could ever find it. All she knew was that it was past Caridin's cross. No one's seen that Tig for 500 years.
Balin gave me a map. I can get to Caridin's cross.
If we're going, let's get moving. Branka's not gonna sodding find herself.
Actually, I think she can. I love how it didn't give us an option to actually take him with us. We just kind of have to. Alright, so... if we're gonna take him with us, which I think I'm gonna do just for story purposes... he's built much the same way as Sten is, so I'm gonna keep Sten's stuff for now. So I can, use Oghren with it. Be gone, you big naked man. So Oghren obviously starts off with basic shit. We have to level him up. Oh, Morgan leveled up too. Why don't we, take care of that? Alright, so as stated, I gotta start pumping into Constitution. Just to try and keep her alive. I think we can get to, like, all her top spells now, so there's really not much reason to pump into anything else. I realize I don't have anybody with fire. I think I'd gotten the Grace Trap thing with wind before, but without fire, that really doesn't help too much, so I'm gonna start pumping shit into fire for Morgan. So, Oghren. His stats are already defined. We can't really change any of them. I don't know why he was given any dexterity or cunning. He does not need those, but he is a berserker. I guess otherwise we'll give him... ooh, maybe see, I'm weird because I try to keep things to a lore-relevant kind of thing. Oghren would make no sense as a Templar, but it might be helpful. I don't see Champion really doing too much for us, honestly. So unfortunately, I can't give him anything else. Since he just joined our party, he's completely neutral. One for the ditch. I'm gonna give you that. So his equipment is pretty garbage. We're gonna give him that. Ooh, looks like we're still storming out there. Give him all the good shit. I don't remember, is Juggernaut better than actually, I think the Dragonbone stuff is the best. Or is this better? This is much better. Warden Commander stuff is obviously the way to go. Where are our Warden Commander gloves? I don't think we have any. Oh, they're there. Alright, Oghren, I think you're ready to rock. Although we don't have rings for you. So be it. Alright. So, Oghren, the, stout dwarf with the rather spiky hairdo, voiced by our good buddy Steve Blum, shall now join our search party to look for Branka in the Deep Roads. But that will start next time, ladies and gentlemen. Until then, thank you all very kindly for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to follow me on Twitch, subscribe to my stream archive channel, links in the description below as always, and we will see you next time. So have yourselves a wonderful night.